right, all right, all right. You can heal family. Now we've just come off a lot of lives and a lot going on. So now it's time for everybody to wind down. So those of you who would like to get tucked in, it is tuck in time. It is time to wind down from our busy day. So I'll give you a chance to get your oils going, get your jammies on, get yourselves all nice and tucked in. I had a good day. While we're waiting for a couple more people. It was busy. I had to deal with that physical therapy for my knees, which is such a drag. And then I went, you guys, and got my glasses, I don't know, the lens measured or whatever, so they can put in the bifocals. So we did that and just gonna spend some time reading tonight. So I decided last night we're going to do a tuck in time using, let me make sure I pronounce the name right because I looked up Iyanla. Long E, yawn, like you yawn when you get tired. La. Iyanla Van Zant's book entitled One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. And the purpose of the read with me's at night, the tuck-in time, is I'm going to share with you books that I've read to help me through my healing journey. My name's Shena Major, and on this channel, I help people heal from unhealthy relationships so they learn to love themselves. And so I want to share with you some books that I found very helpful and useful. So during this time, if you want to chat with each other, you can, but I'm just going to read to you so you can have something at night to fall asleep to that's edifying, that's encouraging, and that will help you reprogram your mind, okay? It will help you reprogram your mind and put in some information that is going to build you up, okay, and move you away from all the negative thinking and the negative self-talk. All right, so that's what we're about over here. And today, now let me explain. This book, it's kind of like a working book. So as you read it, there's assignments, and it talks about the first, well, hold on, I'm getting tongue-tied. It's set up where there's phases in the book, and phase one is talking about honoring the divine, and then there's going to be working definitions. So day one is based on truth. Okay, so we're going to read phase one, kind of like a little introduction, and then do day one. So each night will take a day. But because this is the first day, we have to read the phase. And then I'll go through, if I can read my writing, and share with you what I wrote and what the Lord was helping me during my healing journey. Okay? I got some tea. I watched Tony today, and he was talking about he doesn't even like to watch people drink water on camera. So I'm like, oh gosh, I do that. But anyhow, let's get going, guys. We are going to get started. I want to give a shout out to Angie, Angie in Real Life, and the Debt Demolisher for a beautiful interview today. If you missed it, I will add it to the description, or you can go on the Debt Demolisher TV channel or Angie's channel and watch it. You're going to learn so much about just finances, and not just like how to handle your money, but how to have a relationship with your money. She's teaching everything. All right. And if you missed it, you don't want to, you want to see it. Your hair looks good, Coach. I got my products today, so I sure did. So I got that moisture, the moisture one on there. Yes, I did. I saw the package. I was like, oh, I was very excited. I was so excited to get my little products in the mail. I still need to order the leave-in conditioner spray And I also want to try the lavender glow butter. But yeah, I was excited to get those. So thank you for the compliment and thank you for joining me. So I was saying how the way this book's set up, it's like a working book. There's phases 1, 2, and 3, and phase 1 is starting with the word truth. Let me just double check. Yeah, truth. So we're going to read through phase 1 um, of My Soldiers Opened Up, and then we're going to just do day 1, and each night we'll take a day. And in this book, after each day, there's like, oh, let's see, why does the lighting look like that? There's, oh, right here, there's like questions. So my hope is to, when I get to that, I'm also, if I can read my writing, read what I wrote at that time when I was going through my healing, and just to share with the people, you beautiful people, what was going on with me, to let you know that the healing process is real and it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. And this book helped me out a lot. All right. So I hope you're all cozy and everybody's tucked into bed and everybody is ready to just go on to sleep with getting some good word inside their soul tonight. Now, every time I drink on camera, I'm going to think of Tony Gaskins because he says he doesn't like to see people do that. But I'm going to have to let that go. All right, here we go. And when I'm done, I'm just going to say goodnight to you and just sign off. Phase 1. Dear God, speak into my words today. Think into, you guys, I forgot that little, why do I keep doing that? I forget that little camera. Hold on, I think I've got it right in my bag because, oh dear, hold on, guys. I tell you, this live thing is really testing me because I myself doing all kinds of things on here. Hold on, a little commercial break before we get started. I have to get into the habit of this. I'm not used to it. Sorry. I know it's late. Lisa said she couldn't use one of these because she moves around too much. My gosh. Hilarious. What side is this thing on? Hold on. You're good. Okay. Now, what side is it on? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Why is it acting like that? So you did a really good job tonight. I was so proud. I feel like a proud mom when I'm listening to you. It makes me very proud. I cannot figure this out. Why is this giving me a hard time? Oh gosh. Well, see, you better get behind me because I'm going to read this book, regardless of what you think. I'm trying to figure out why it's not. Oh, maybe I have the wrong side. Now, isn't this annoying? Okay. My goodness, it just was not going in there. All right, here we go. Talking time, day 2. And we're reading from One Day My Soul Just Opened Up by Iyanla Van Zandt. Phase 1. Dear God, speak into my words today. Think into my thoughts today. Work in all my deeds today. I am yours to use today and forever, and so it is. Honor the divine. I can imagine that I am not alone when I say I have spent the majority of my life being angry with God. The time that I did not spend being angry, I spent being totally confused. And when I wasn't confused, I was afraid. Growing up in the church as I did, I came to know God as an amorphous, external entity. He was big, he was fierce, he was waiting for me to mess up so he could swoop down and get me. Getting me had to do with making me suffer and taking away things that I loved and wanted, like my mother. Getting me had to do with never approving of me or accepting me because of all the bad, inappropriate, or purely human things that I was prone to do. Somewhere in my life, I grew to understand that God was not happy with me. That was just fine because I wasn't too thrilled about Him either. What does it mean to believe in God? That's my 16-year-old going down the stairs. I told you guys the stairs were right there. All right. My childhood perception of God, that He was everywhere and could see everything, followed me well into adulthood. He saw me steal the candy. He saw me kiss those boys. He knew that I used four-letter words, smoked, drank, and had been promiscuous. He knew that I had lied to my boss, killing off my grandmother and any other spare relatives, my children and the IRS, and of course, he knew that I had lied to my mother many, many times. He was really mad at me, and for that reason, and for many other reasons, I was afraid of him. His anger, I concluded, was evidenced by the ongoing drama and crisis in my life. He let me get pregnant at 16. He allowed me to marry a man who beat me, left me, came back to beat me, then cheat on me, only to again leave me. He let me be hungry and homeless. He refused to hire me for a job that I really needed. Yes, God and I were rarely on speaking terms, and when we were, he always seemed to be punishing me for something I had done or not done. I couldn't figure out which it was. Whatever his reasons, he was really testing my beliefs. I kept trying to get on God's good side. I knew all the perfunctory prayers, the 23rd Psalm, the Lord's Prayer. With a little help, I can even follow the 91st Psalm without reading it from the Bible. Actually, I would say the words I knew out loud and allow my mouth to move while mumbling all the others. I knew the songs, those spirituals that seemed to have so much meaning, to give such great comfort to so many. Precious Lord, take my hand, amazing grace, nearer my God to thee. What a friend we have in Jesus. Jesus, oh Lord, let's not go there. Just the mere mention of him caused me to become paralyzed by fear. But I would sing even those songs, the Jesus filled songs, real loud when I was trying to impress God. I thought I could make God believe that I really knew and trusted him. I also knew how to console other people who seemed to be in conflict with or about God. I would tell them that God knew best. I knew how to impress those people, telling them I would pray for them. I thought I really knew how to pray. I had heard my grandmother and the other saints in the church do it, and I followed their lead. I knew how to do all the things I had been taught would make God happy with me. But somewhere deep inside, I knew I was just playing a game. I really wanted to believe in God, but I couldn't figure out what that meant. Grandma always said, never take the Lord's name in vain and don't tempt the Lord. This, among many other seemingly meaningless religious practices, is what led to a great deal of my confusion. If God was everywhere and had so much power, didn't he know I was already mad, confused, afraid? And if he did, why didn't he strike me dead? Like Grandma believed was about to happen at any moment. If God were so lovingly concerned about me, why didn't he help me, stop me, give me better guidance? Why did God allow bad things to happen to good people? And when bad people tried to be good, why did they have to be punished? I wanted an answer to these questions. However, I needed an answer to the lifelong inquisition. What does it mean to believe in God? It was a bit much to try to figure out, So I, like many others, I suspect, shut down, tuned out, turned off to God. Boy, did that feel better. Just do what you have to do when you have to do it without being afraid of what might happen. I thought it was a relief. It seemed to make sense to me, and it reinforced the underlying belief that God was only available to certain people of whom I was not one. I wish I could pinpoint the day it all turned around for me. I wish I could identify the book that I read, the song that I heard, the words that rang loud and true in my mind that answered all the questions and gave me a totally different outlook on the presence of God in my life as something divine. I can imagine that it was a time when I was in trouble. I will admit that no matter what I thought I believed, when I was in deep doo doo, I went back, crawling on my belly like a reptile to God. I think I am the author of the prayer, God, if you help me this time, I promise never to bother you again. And this time I really mean it. I have never been really ill, which means it was not the fear of death or the need for a physical healing. My children had never been in peril either, so that could not have been the impetus prompting the rekindling of my relationship. I know it was not the quest for money. I lived in poverty most of my life and had decided long ago that God does not give money to poor people. I don't think it was begging for the return of a lover or the great escape from some predicament of emotional despair. As best as I could recall, the day I actually felt the presence of the divine in my life, it was a quiet knowing in my heart. Or maybe it was a profound thought that guided me to do something that changed my life forever. Whatever it was, whenever it happened, it was an experience that let me know without a shadow of a doubt that me and he were finally all right. I also know that it was that experience which taught me that to believe in God is to recognize and acknowledge God's divine presence within yourself. Today, after many years of self torment, acknowledging all the foolish choices and bad decisions I once made, I now know that God is in the midst of me and God believes in me. Thank you, Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity Village. I now believe with all my heart that there is but one mind, and we are each a manifestation of that mind, the mind of God, the divine. I also believe that we are each a unique expression of the divine mind living to fulfill a divine mission and purpose. As an expression of that one divine mind, there is nothing we need to know that is beyond our immediate recognition. Why are you still awake?
I'm hungry. I just woke up.
Excuse me. Now, y'all know she has ballet, intensive ballet in the morning, and she should be asleep. I apologize if you are falling asleep and you just got interrupted. But my now 9-year-old has never gone to bed on time. One of my girlfriends from college calls her my granddaughter. And sometimes I feel like that because I'm tired, y'all. I got these kids, these young kids now. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Everybody settle down, get tucked back in. Everything's all right. Today, after many years of self torment, acknowledging all.
Back with food.
And you pick a Pop Tart and it's bedtime?
Mm-hmm.
That really doesn't make any
This
sense.
is something that I didn't eat earlier.
All right, good night, Bren.
Good night.
Lord help me. Oh my God. Okay. All right, let's continue. My God. All right, all right, I'm not gonna get silly. Oh God. All right. All right. Thank you, Charles Fillmore, founder of Unity Village. I now believe with all my heart that there I keep thinking of Lisa Smiles is probably saying, now, Sheena, you know you want to let her have it. And I'm trying to be so composed, but Bren knows I have to give her melatonin by 7:30 or she will not go to bed at a regular time. Okay, you guys, I told you I wasn't lying. You see my staircase right there? I try to do this, if I'm just being honest. I try to always turn my little camera so people can't see. My little setup is literally right by my stairs. Oh, dear. All right. All right, here we go. I also believe that we are each a unique expression of the divine mind living to fulfill a divine mission and purpose. As an expression of that one divine mind, there is nothing we need or need to know that is beyond our immediate recognition. Thank you, Ralph Emerson, Joel Goldsmith, Howard Thurman, Eric Butterworth, Emily Emily Caddy, and Elvis Presley for the work you have done and the words you have spoken that brought this to my attention. Today, even when I'm experiencing despair, confusion, or a seeming calamity in my life, I know the Father knows my needs even before I ask. Thank you, Jesus. I finally realize you are not out to get me. You are walking with me, and that our Father loves me as much as He loved you. Most of all, I thank the Spirit within me for teaching me, showing me, being patient with me as I lived through the self imposed punishment that eventually opened my heart and mind to the presence of the Spirit, the one mind that is greater than I. What does it mean to believe in God? It means learning to honor your own inherent godliness. That is not an easy task, but it is worth every ounce of effort you expend. Even though I now know what it means to believe and accept the presence of the divine as an inherent part of my being, there are times when I slip back into my old fears, old beliefs, and old confusion. I admit there are moments when I focus on the problem and not on the presence of the goodness that God is. Today, however, I know how to get still, ask the question, and listen for the answer because I always try to remember right where I am, God is, and God believes in me. It is in these moments when the intellectual mind becomes still that the spirit will unfold and soar. It is when you can make these quiet pronouncements with belief that the presence of the divine is activated, infusing your being with a sense of peaceful well being. I have learned that there is no magic formula that will bring you to that moment, nor is there one particular way to get there. There is, however, one requirement that seems to be true for everyone. You must have a deep desire to know the divine that is not based on anything other than the deep desire. You cannot want it for any other reason other than to want it. It is just that simple. What does it mean to believe in God and embrace this divine presence? It means you will still stumble at times, forgetting what you want, falling headfirst into the old habits and beliefs. Fear not, that is to be expected. Whenever you challenge the old ways with new ways, the old ways will fight you tooth and nail. Always remember to be patient and loving with yourself and others because that is what God does all the time. Who is telling me to scoot close to the bookshelf? Lisa Smiles, you need to go on to bed. All right? You need to go on to sleep. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna fall down the stairs, but thank you. That's so sweet. You're such a good little sister. All right. Now where was I? All right. What does it mean to believe in God and to embrace that divine presence? It means you will sorry. We'll just start this paragraph at the top. What does it mean to believe in God and embrace that divine presence? It means you will still stumble at times, forgetting what you want, falling headfirst into the old habits and beliefs. Fear not, that is to be expected. Whenever you challenge the old ways with new ways, the old ways will fight you tooth and nail. Always remember to be patient and loving with yourself and others because that is what God does all the time. There will be moments when fear will take you over, cut your breath off, and make your head spin. The fear of losing control, of being weird, of giving up the familiar and comfortable for what is surely to be unfamiliar and uncomfortable. A mentor once told me, when you are comfortable, you are not growing. If you want to grow into a divine space in life, you must breathe and keep moving forward. Rest assured, there will be times when you fall flat on your face. It will seem as if the harder you pray, the more you attempt to trust, the more holy and devout you become, the worse your life will appear to be. Things that were going well will go wrong. Things that were not going so well will blow up in your face. It is a trick. Do not be fooled by appearances. Hold on to the words, the phrase, the prayer, the little bits of trust and faith you can muster. You are not to be tested. Oh, I read that wrong. You are not being tested. You are being fortified. Remember, you cannot fail. All paths lead to the same road, the road to peace, joy, and the memory of God's unconditional love. Why, you ask? Why would you want to take the journey? Why would you look for God when you are doing just fine? You are making it on what you know, what you've learned. Why would God help you now? And what's in it for you? I have asked those questions of myself many, many times. I have found many answers. Some of the answers emerge from the old school, the old belief system that kept me in fear and confusion. If I didn't go to God, He would someday come to get me. There were many times I tried desperately to convince myself to believe God is good. God knows best. Even with this in my arsenal, when things did not go the way I thought they should go, I became angry and frightened. The one answer to all my questions that has stuck with me the longest and made the greatest impression has been God is as dependent on you as you are on God. The creator of the universe, the divine energy of life, needs me to demonstrate the goodness He has in store for all people. I am the light of the world, and God wants me to shine in the glory of His knowledge. God believes I can do it. When it was put to me that way, I figured I had very little to lose and everything in the world to gain. With a little faith, trust, and effort, I know I will discover that the same is true for you. Day 1, honor the divine with truth. Working definition. The principle we are working with today is truth. It is the absolute, that which reveals and is in accord with the will of the divine as the governing principle of life. Truth is eternal, the same today as yesterday. The fullness of truth related to the divine exists at the core of every living being. The basic principle of truth is that the mind of every individual is unified with divine mind eternally. As individual awareness expands and embraces the concept of divine truth, understanding unfolds. Commentary on truth. I had so many lies in my foundation. My mother, bless her heart, told me what she thought I needed to know to make it in life. These things that she told me constituted my armor, my protection from the harshness of the world. Unfortunately, Mother dear, what you told me had nothing to do with the truth of my being. It was painful for me to accept this, that my mother was in essence a liar. It was even more difficult for me to wade through Mother's instructions and find the truth, God's truth. It meant that I had to examine everything that I had been told and weigh it against universal truth. It was most unfortunate that even that truth was skewed by the church, the evening news, and Captain Kangaroo. It's hard out there. No one is going to give you anything. You've got to work hard for what you want in this life. Don't trust people. People will step on you if you don't watch out. You've got to be better than everyone else. If you don't stand out, no one will notice you. This is what my parents and their friends pounded into my head. Underlying it all were their low expectations of me and for me because I was a woman. I'm sure my mother, father, and grandmother thought they were giving it to me straight, and I believe they were. Unfortunately, their instruction, integrated with my own perceptions, resulted in massive confusion. I must say that even in their protective hysteria, there were a few gems my caregivers gave me that have proven to be as lasting and empowering as they were originally confusing and disempowering. In particular, follow your first thought. My interpretation, why the HELL should I listen to me? I'm a wretch, born of the original sin. Only certain people get God's attention, and most of them are men. I'm too young. I don't know enough. I'm a woman. Then there is the classic do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Wait just a freaking minute here. Are others the same people who are waiting to do me in? Pounce on me, betray my trust, take what I have and leave me high and dry? What am I supposed to do unto them if not protect myself from them? Lest we forget, Jesus died for your sins. You must receive him as your Savior if you want to get to heaven. I don't know about most people, but I was raised to fear death. The thought that I had done something, anything, particularly something I was totally unaware of, that caused someone else their life left me riddled with guilt. Now, when I'm guilty, I have heard time facing the people who remind me of what I have done or not done to be guilty about. Besides that, those childhood images of Christ hanging on the cross reminded me of my guilt and also told me that he hadn't made out so well. How was he going to help me from the position he was in? The messages, the images, the conflict within myself led me further away from the place I wanted to be, standing in truth. You must do your own independent investigation of truth. Powerful words from a friend teaching me about the Baha'i faith are a good starting point for the journey to uncovering truth. When you are courageous enough to examine and challenge those things that you have been taught to accept as truth, you cannot help but find the truth beneath their accepted meaning. Discovering and embracing just one eternal truth will fill your heart, bring tears to your eyes, and eradicate the false beliefs in an instant. How will you know it when you find it? The sheep always know the voice of the shepherd. More important, just like our mothers told us, the truth will set you free. The truth will bring you back to the place you started as a divine idea in God's mind. The truth will free you from the habitual fears the process of life can impose upon you. The truth will eliminate your need to be anything other than what you already are, divine. It will prove to be an adequate and fulfilling substitution for the need to scratch, claw, and fight to get anything. The truth is, we already have everything we need. The truth, in its most simple form, is an exorcist for the spirit of the do. Do this, do that, do it now, do it fast. The truth allows you to just be, the ability to be okay with who you are. Do whatever it is that you are doing in any given moment is the piece of heaven we spend our lives killing ourselves to find. The results of an independent investigation for truth is the only incontrovertible proof that truth is eternal, consistent, dependable, and born of love. For me, the discovery of the truth about truth was enough to enable me to forgive my well intentioned mother, and for that matter, everyone else who supported me in my misconceptions about life or myself. Truth postulates. My own independent investigation of truth eventually resulted in my ability to embrace certain ideas that were consistent, although hard to find. In every religious text, every book on personal growth, every New Age treatise I examined, there were certain theories that kept popping up. Of course, they were all said in different ways. Some of them were presented as the deep, underlying meaning of some entertaining story. Other statements of truth were simply glaring at me as if daring me to challenge them. I did, and they won. It seemed to me that no matter how they are framed or presented, certain consistent ideas emerged about life that made me see worth living. I called these truth postulates. Postulate 1: God is life, God is spirit, God is mind. God is the only power that is in control of life, spirit, and mind. Postulate 2: God is within you and every living thing. Translated, this means that everything living is a unique representation of God's identity, mind, spirit, and life. Postulate 3: we've got nothing but time, and it is on our side. This is why we continue to be provided with the opportunity to repeat and recreate in our lives. Postulate 4: God does not punish us. We punish ourselves with guilt, shame, and fear. When we choose not to act in concert with our inherently divine nature. Postulate 5: there is a divine order to everything in life. It is for this reason that exactly where you are at any given time in life is exactly where you should be according to the divine unfolding of our consciousness and life. Postulate 6: life is the unfolding of experiences designed to bring to our awareness the impersonal operation of the universal principle, sometimes called natural laws. When we are aware that the principles are operating and governing ourselves to live in harmony with them, it becomes easy to understand the experiences we have in life. Postulate 7: God doesn't bless people. We receive the grace of the divine as abundance, peace, joy, well being, and love as a function of what we think, feel, and believe about life, ourselves, and the divine. Postulate 8: our lives are a reflection of our consciousness and subconscious choices. When we do not choose, we live by default. Postulate 9: everybody is born to fulfill a divine purpose, and God has given us everything we will ever need to fulfill that purpose. Everyone will discover the degree of truth that supports what they believe about life, just as I did. I guess the most difficult challenge we all face is learning to live what we believe each day, all the time, under all circumstances. People don't always act like they are representatives of God. There are times when punishment is the only logical rationale you can find for what you are experiencing. Deadlines and demands seem to restrict your time. They do not give you more of it. When you try to substitute man's laws for divine law, there seems to be a very inequitable distribution of goods and resources. If you were to actually do unto others what it appears that they are doing to you, there is a very good chance you would be carted off to the nut house, if not to jail. How could I have been expected to really apply these things to my life when everyone around me is doing life the way life has always been done? As fast as possible, by any means necessary, get it done at all cost. So that is the cost, you little or nothing. The answer, as simple as it seems, absolutely works. Behold, I do a new thing. I live the truth of the universe. My holding on to the perfect, immutable truth of the divine and incorporating it in every aspect of your being and your life, you are freed from the chains of the habit. By reminding yourself daily that you are a perfect and unique representative of all that God is, you will find that you are equipped to handle anything. This process will help you remember and practice the truth of your soul. Commentary Journal. This section are questions that Ayanla Van Zandt asked. So I'm going to read my answers if I can read my writing, and then I'm going to say goodnight to you. After reading today's commentary, I realize these are Coach Sheena's words. Life is a mystery. Knowing the truth about who I am will allow me to discover this heaven on earth. Experiences I want. I think that having the book by my bed is something to look forward to in the morning. Postulate number 9 about, I can't read my writing, filling a divine purpose is my journey now. Will I will do the right thing to discover my purpose and answer the call. It's time to do commitments this week. Read 20 each day in the 2 books I've been reading. Order the computer. Find another Toastmasters to visit. The key phrase I want to remember and work with today are I have a divine purpose. Morning Truth Affirmations. Today I ask that the truth be revealed to me. Truth is eternal. Truth is the essence of my soul. Truth is my connection to the divine source of all life. Today I welcome the presence of truth as the universal intelligence that knows exactly what I must do in every situation under all circumstances. No matter what appears before me today, I know there is a greater truth grounded in love, power, peace, joy, and wisdom that will guide and protect me. Today, I invoke the presence of truth as the light that will cast out all thought of separation, limitation, and confusion. The light of truth now infuses my mind, reminding me that there is power and a presence of the divine that is greater than any physical problem. Today I speak the truth. I hear the truth. I see the greater divine truth of every situation I encounter, the truth that is divine, eternal, all knowing, and ever present now frees me to live fully, completely, and abundantly. I am grateful for the truth that is now revealed to me this day, and so it is. Let me remember God is truth, truth is divine, truth is eternal and consistent, it never changes. God is within every living thing, which means that there is divine and eternal truth beneath everything I see. Truth is greater than any problem on a physical level. The truth is that God believes in me. Every evening truth journal. I, Shena, am open to know the truth about myself as it relates to my husband. I've been living a lie to myself, a lie that said I didn't deserve any better, a lie that said I could wait for him to change everything. I was suffering, a lie that told me he was the best I could do, and dragging him was, I can't read my writing, my good enthusiasm. I do not have to be bound to his troubled soul. I am free. I, Shena, am open to know the truth as it relates to my destiny, my calling, the outcome of my children's lives. I'm open to know the truth about divorce, about the process. I will be present, honest, and truthful. I'm open to know the truth as it relates to my well being, my mind, my spirit, and soul. I will live out my truth and I will live an abundant life I dream of. I, Sheena, accept his truth that I will grow as I embark on this divorce. It's a divorce from my old self. It's really what it is. It's a way for me to get back to me, the real me, to find out who me is outside of him. It's a scary thing being married to someone like him. Well, actually, it's scary breaking free, but I must. It's fulfilling too. I will accept as truth that I am a Christian woman who will be divorced and not living below the veil because I am waking up. I'm waking up. That's what I wrote. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on our talking time. Hopefully, everyone is sound asleep and something you heard is seeping deep, deep down in your subconscious mind. So when you wake up in the morning, you're going to feel great. You're going to feel like you've been in the presence of God, and you're going to know the truth because why? The truth sets you free. So with that said, what do I always say? True healing begins with self-love. Why? Because God is love and he lives on the inside of you. All right, good night. You're welcome.